Yesterday was Saturday and I had to work yesterday. Whenever I have to work on the weekends, I kind of just spend the entire week preparing for the fact that I'm going to have to work on a weekend, and so therefore I'm going to get nothing done and I'm not going to enjoy the weekend at all, other than the fact that I do enjoy my job. But you know what I mean, like I'm not going to be able to do anything at home. But yesterday I actually only ended up working like 4 hours and I came home at like 12:30. And so it was like a surprise weekend, right? And so all of a sudden I'm flooded with like this, oh my gosh, I get this free day. And you get such high expectations of what you're going to do on a day when you have all this extra time when you didn't think you were going to have. It was like canceled plans, like, yes. And you have all these expectations. You've been waiting for this day, right? The day when you'll have time to do all the things that you've been wanting to do. And in your head, you hype it up. Like, oh, I'm going to do this. 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 I'm going to start this project. I'm going to research this. I'm going to get that done. And then when the day actually comes, so I got interrupted, then I got distracted, started working, and now I'm back to finish what I was saying. What was I saying? Okay, so you come home with high expectations of what you're going to do with your free day, and then something happens to throw you off, like a little argument or expectations aren't met. And so I then sank into this, like, it's a Saturday, and yet what I wanted to do, I can't do. And I just started to feel really kind of down in the dumps. And I started just dopamine seeking and scrolling. So what I did is I decided to come out here and just sit in silence. And I turned everything off. I turned all the videos off, and I just decided to sit in silence and think. And I don't want to be the kind of wife who just argues and fights and wants things to go my way and always wants more money to spend on new things. I don't want to be that person. And I was like, how can I use my creativity to not spend money and yet still have some fun this weekend? So I started looking around, and that is when I noticed these pine trees back here. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna start working on those. We thought that these trees were like dead and dying. We just got one of these trees cut down because it was completely and totally dead, not a bit of life on it. And we really want to save these pine trees behind us because they give us a really nice privacy fence between our yard and our neighbor's yard. But we thought that they were dead and dying, and so we were trying to figure out, is there a way to save these trees or not? Well, I looked, and there is actually new growth coming in on these trees. So I decided, you know what, I need to stop pouting and I need to figure out a way to entertain myself and come up with something to do with my hands, something to get creative with without spending money. And there's no better way to do that than to better what you already have. Look around you and find the project that you've been procrastinating on and do that instead of starting something new. And while that's hard to do, I just decided to go at it. And so I'll bring you guys with me, and you guys can watch me tear down branches out of trees. Do I know what I'm doing? Absolutely not. Did I do research on how to take care of pine trees? No, I didn't. But my theory is that if I trim out all of the completely and totally dead branches, the trees will have more energy to put toward their branches that are still alive. And so you can see as I'm tearing down branches, like they are completely and totally dry, like they just snap off. So those branches are completely dead. Other branches actually have some life in them, but if you look farther down the branch, there's not any like actual pine needles or growth happening on that branch. It's just energy that the tree is putting toward a dead branch. And so you want to cut those branches out so the tree has more energy and nutrients to put toward the branches that are actually alive. That's my theory. That's what I'm going with. So I'm going to rip out all the dead branches out of here so that we can actually figure out a way to make our backyard look nice instead of just full of dead growth. So I'm really, really hoping that by pruning this tree and getting rid of all of the dead junk out of this tree, it can have a new life. Great day yesterday, and today's Sunday, and I'm just starting today off on the right foot because I know the project that I want to do. And I think the message here that I want to convey is just when things don't go to plan, you have a brain that is extremely creative and extremely resourceful, and you can make connections that other people can't make. And if you can harness that creativity and just shut off all of the inputs for a couple minutes and just think, what can I do with my time? What do I want? And get creative and come up with a creative project for yourself to do and start, things will look up again. If something doesn't go as planned, that's not a reason to stop and tank and mope. That is fuel for creativity, to come up with something to do instead, to change your plans. Fine. A problem is an opportunity. And yeah, I think that's it. Okay, I am absolutely loving how this is turning out. This is all, like, all of that was dead branches, and I have cleared all of it out. I'm cleaning it all up. There's still a little pile of stuff right there that I need to bag up, and I just need to rake up the lawn and make it look nice again. But all of this came of some free time that I didn't expect to have and didn't get to do what I wanted to do. And instead of just sinking into boredom and despair and being miserable, I decided to just get creative and start doing something that I had zero plan for. I just grabbed a handsaw because that's all I had, and I was like, I'm going to tackle these dead branches, and this is what has come of it. I am so happy that I did this. It looks so much better than it did. I know it's still a work in progress. I really hope these trees can survive. I'm not sure if they will. They're really, really sparse. We might have to end up cutting them down eventually, but for now, we just want our yard to look a little nicer. So doing what we can, and I'm really glad I did this. I think it's a big improvement. One method that I have used today for staying on track and being generally productive is interstitial journaling, which, if you don't know what that is, look up some YouTube videos. I don't have a video on that yet. I might do a video on interstitial journaling. I'm just trying it out. But basically, it is when you log what you are doing kind of as you're doing it. And so here, right here, I have my interstitial journaling of what I've done and the timestamps going with them. Up here, I wrote my to-do list. Then I color coded based on first, later, and not important. So the things that I need to get done first, the things that I'll be doing later today, and the things that aren't important. So if they get done, great. If they don't, whatever. That's how I did it this morning. That's not how I always do it. I just did it that way this morning. It worked for me. And so I'm just going to write down what I have done. So at 11:08, I was starting the branch cleanup outside, and now it is 12:49. I'm going to put what else I did. So we brought in groceries and yard cleanup. 12:50. What am I doing next? So next I need to prep my produce. Whenever we get groceries, I try my best. I do not always, but I try my best to immediately prep the things that need to be prepped. And so when I'm putting things away, the things that need to be prepped for lunches this week, such as the vegetables that I want to cut. So we have baby cucumbers, grapes, and celery here. These are my favorite go-to to just bag and have ready for lunches during the work week. Instead of putting those directly into the fridge and then letting them rot, because inevitably, if I don't prep them, they will just simply rot in the fridge, I try to just put them on the counter. That's where they go until they're prepped. And so immediately when I'm done putting away groceries, I try to just move straight into prepping these as just one large task. It all goes together. Habit stack, if you will. Prepping snacks is part of putting away groceries in my mind. If I have time to, I always try to do it that way. At least recently, I've been adopting that habit stack. Also, do I feel good about using bags? No, I do not. I do not feel good about it. I want a more environmentally friendly solution. I hate killing the planet. I do love the planet. I hate plastic waste. I just haven't invested the money nor the research or the time to figure out a better solution to this. I've tried plastic containers, but honestly, they just take up too much space in my fridge. I don't have room to stack 15 plastic containers in my fridge. Bags are just more space efficient. So I haven't invested in reusable bags yet. So am I happy with this? No, I'm not. I really want to come up with a better solution, but this is just what it is for now. Okay, so the other thing I do is I take out the bags from last week and mark them with an X with a Sharpie so that we know which bags are old and which bags are new and what ones to eat first. Generally, dinner items go on the top shelf. So any ingredients that we need for future dinners go here. Lunch items go here. So when I am packing my lunch for work in the morning, or like random snack things, grabbable things, our leftovers packed from dinner, things that I would grab for lunch generally go here. Now, Prego, that's debatable whether that's a lunch or dinner item. I'm going to put that up here just because the shelf is a little full. So these are where I keep all the leftovers, dinner, and then the bottom shelf is for the everyday use, larger, bulkier stuff, and the doors are just miscellaneous everything. I haven't sorted through the doors in years. Who knows what's on my doors. The magic of having ADHD is that once you get started on a project, you don't want to stop. So once you just get going on doing something, it's almost impossible to stop doing that thing and to take a break. My husband helps me with that and literally makes me stop. But this project is one that I have been procrastinating on for a long time. We have some rust developing on the top of our pergola and I need to take care of it. I have not wanted to do it for weeks, but because I tackled that project and cleared out all of that stuff, now I just can't help but do this too. It is at this point where I start to feel a burnout. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I've been working nonstop all day. I sat down to eat lunch. I've climbed up and down that ladder about 20 times, maybe more than that. And now I have to clean up this entire mess. This is the downside of ADHD, that you can't stop, is that you go until you're dead exhausted and you're still in the middle of a huge mess and you have to clean it up. I'm tired. I gotta finish. I'm exhausted. It's 3:30 and I'm exhausted. I still have one more chore I need to do. I need to fold and put away laundry and probably make my bed. But I'm going to take a break. I think I'm going to take a shower, freshen up, but it was worth it. This weekend could have been a total waste of me moping around if I had let yesterday get the best of me and coming home disappointed and not being able to do what I wanted to do this weekend, not being able to buy that new shiny thing that I wanted. I don't even know what I wanted, but I thought I had a couple $100 in this fund. I only have $50 in a fund. And so I got disappointed, but I decided to use creativity to power through, came up with some projects to do, and I feel like this has been a very productive weekend and I'm quite happy with it. And now I'm exhausted and going to force myself to rest and relax for the rest of the day, other than finishing laundry. I'm gonna freshen up, sit down and chill. Thanks for coming along. I always forget to introduce myself and do the whole welcome to my channel thing. I hate that. But my name is Shelby. If you're new here, welcome. I am 29. I've been married for 6.5 years and I don't have kids. I work full-time in the healthcare field as a physical therapist assistant, and I am diagnosed with combined type moderate ADHD. I was diagnosed about 6 months ago, and I'm on the journey of learning how to live my life in a better way, coping with ADHD. So if you like watching people's everyday, mundane, normal lives, join me, because I'm figuring out how to manage ADHD. I'm figuring out how to live a content married life with no children. We do want to have children eventually. We will get there eventually. We are extremely financially frugal, saving a lot of money. We've paid off $35,000 of debt in a year and a half, and we have $29,000 of debt to go. We're over halfway there. So we're making a lot of money, saving a lot of money, just being frugal, working, and vlogging. That's all. So like and subscribe if you want to stick with me. and watch me live my life. And learn some ADHD tips on the way. Maybe some marriage tips too.